Good afternoon. I'm Erick Erickson. These are your 4 things to know this afternoon, what you need to know before you get home from work. Let's dive in. First up, Israel builds its case for war with Iran, but the U.S. isn't buying it. That's according to reporting from the Wall Street Journal, which details how Israel has amassed intelligence to justify its further military action against Iran. But here's the twist. Biden holdovers and deep state types embedded in various agencies are reportedly dismissive of the Israeli case, even as the president has demanded a stronger stance. The Israeli government, facing existential threats as Iran edges closer to nuclear weapons capability, has presented what they say is fresh intelligence, intercepted communications, satellite imagery, documentation of Iran's nuclear advances. Israel's case: Iran isn't just enriching uranium, they're preparing delivery systems. They're not just defying the International Atomic Energy Agency, they're daring the free world to stop them. But here's what's really colliding with Washington groupthink. The so-called experts in our intelligence community, some of them relics of the Biden years, are urging caution, calling Israel's case inconclusive. This is the same bureaucracy that once downplayed the threat of ISIS and misread Vladimir Putin's intentions on Ukraine. And now they're telling us and Israel, the one democracy in that region that has lived under existential threats since its founding, that it's overreacting. We can't let Washington's permanent class slow walk our support of Israel. President Trump has been clear. If Israel acts in its defense, America will stand with her. And frankly, it's refreshing to have a commander-in-chief who understands that peace through strength isn't just a slogan, it's policy. Additionally, regardless of Iran's stage of nuclear development, it is not in dispute that Iran is seeking nuclear weapons, and President Trump has made clear that Iran must stop its nuclear weapons development. Now, our second story pairs right with the first. Axios is reporting late this afternoon President Trump has quietly authorized Backchannel talks aimed at securing a ceasefire between Israel and Iran, or at least to prevent broader escalation. President Trump has tasked real negotiators, not just the performative types you see on TV. What's notable and almost completely ignored by most legacy media is how Trump's approach differs from the Obama-Biden playbook. There are no pallets of cash being flown to Tehran. There are no photo op handshakes or deals with Iran that violate the minute the camera stops rolling. Instead, this is classic Trump diplomacy. You build leverage, you show strength, you negotiate from a position of power. That's exactly what's happening. Unlike the prior administration's disastrous Iran nuclear deal, remember, the one that handed the mullahs billions and gave them breathing room to advance this nuclear program, Trump's team is demanding Iran halt nuclear development before any sanctions relief or easing of pressure. There are no freebies, no appeasement. There will be inspections. This is hard-nosed diplomacy. Let's also not miss the contrast between Trump's statesmanship and the chaos of the Biden years. Under Biden, Iran enriched uranium and armed proxies across the region with near impunity. Under Trump, Iran knows that crossing certain red lines come at a cost. That's the conservative principle at work here. Peace, but on America's terms, not Tehran's terms. Our third story brings us back to our own backyard and to the left's hypocrisy on law and order. Brad Lander, New York City's comptroller, essentially the city's chief financial officer, was arrested for assaulting a federal immigration officer and impeding immigration officials. Lander is running for mayor of New York and trying to get attention for his campaign. He claims he was just observing the process at an immigration court proceeding. His supporters say he did nothing wrong. Federal authorities claim Lander was obstructing federal immigration officials' efforts to detain illegal immigrants and assaulted a federal officer. Occam's razor can be applied here. Lander's campaign is failing. He needs free media attention. He saw the attention Alex Padilla got in California and decided to cause a commotion and blame Trump. Because, of course, progressives will easily blame Donald Trump instead of seeing the truth. Our last story, some good news at the border. According to the New York Post, U.S. Border Patrol agents didn't release a single illegal immigrant into the interior of the United States last month. Zero, nada, zilch. It's a dramatic shift and one that owes much to President Trump's administration's reassertion of authority over federal border policy. The open borders crowd is calling it inhumane and xenophobic already, but here's the truth. This is what enforcing the law looks like. This is what sovereignty looks like. For years, we were told by progressives and even some open borders guys on the right that stopping releases was impossible, particularly without congressional action. We were told our facilities couldn't handle the numbers, that our courts were too backed up, that compassion required catch and release. But what we're seeing is that with the right leadership, with clear direction from the top, and with a president committed to securing the border, our agents can, in fact, enforce the law with no further laws needed. The results speak for themselves. Communities along the border are safer, reporting drops in crime. The message to would-be illegal crossers is clear: don't come. Fentanyl trafficking is down, and our nation, long mocked by its own elite as incapable of controlling its borders, is proving otherwise. This also highlights a fundamental conservative truth. Government works best when it sticks to its core duties, defending the nation, enforcing the law, securing the border. That's exactly what's happening now. Credit where it's due. President Trump promised to secure the border, and despite resistance from the left and activist judges, he's delivering. So there you have it. 4 stories that define the moment we're in this afternoon. Israel is preparing to defend itself as Iran inches toward nuclear capability, while too many in Washington cling to dangerous illusions. President Trump is pursuing peace through strength, not surrender. Progressive elites in our cities are choosing law-breaking and radicalism over responsibility to get attention. And a border policy that, for once, prioritizes the American people over the demands of the global left is working without any new laws being passed. That's the news conservatives need to know this afternoon. I'm Erick Erickson. This has been your 4 things to know this afternoon. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and as always, please keep the faith.